Hello Onions, it's Raver here once again to bring you the UnWavering Misfits review for Battleborn. So as always, let's start off with the good things. One of the first things that comes to mind whenever I think about this game is just how great the graphics are. While playing, I would find myself just standing and gawking at the scenery or just the gameplay in general because it just looks so well done and it should be commended by the developers. Also, the combat itself is very nice, it's fast and fluent, and it can be really fun to play. You have a total of 3 separate abilities.
Sector A lost.
Now you don't normally see this in most MOBAs, and that is that this game, Battleborn, has a dedicated story mode that you can play either by yourself or with friends or just random people online, up to 5 people. And there's even split screen in this game, both matchmaking and story mode. It's awesome! I was really annoyed when Halo 5 took that out, but it's nice to see that still some developers are putting split screen in, because it really is fun. I was here playing with Dross and we had a great time, to say it lightly. The middle one, your main one, is unlocked later using a helix system, which I will talk about later. And all in general, the game just plays really well. So you got the nice combat, it's mixed in with just some of this beautiful scenery. I can't commend this enough. It looks great. It's a bit different from Gearbox's traditional style from like Borderlands, but it really pulls it all together. The gameplay and seamless graphics are amazing. But the story itself is very well put together. There are a total of 8 missions, and there's also a prologue, so 9 missions in total. But you can't choose which character you play as in the prologue like you can in all the others. Each mission, if playing with people online, is about 30 minutes long. If you're playing by yourself and you're switching between Battleborns, it can be anywhere from 45 minutes to even an hour. As I said, I was switching between a lot of Battleborns, but another thing that I would really like to commend Gearbox for is that not many games in general are doing a lot of story mode anymore. This one's about 4+ hours, 4 to 6 hours depending on your play style, and it just, helps to bring me up because you don't see a lot of MOBAs or things like this doing anymore, and it should definitely be commended by Gearbox. The story itself is told in the usual Gearbox style. Now, if you're thinking back to Borderlands, you might remember all the snide comments and remarks from Jack and other enemies, and it is definitely in this game. I have found myself laughing at plenty of the things people have said, from especially Cleese, all of Rendain's soldiers thinking that he's going to kill them.
Reinforcements are en route. I've seen to it personally, but until they arrive, we're counting on you. The Eldred portal device must be destroyed. Lord Commander Rendain! Please don't kill me, my lord! What? Kill you? No, don't be silly. Why would I? All units! Death march on the observatory now! Or Rendain will surely kill us all! Stand by for reinforcements.
So here's the deal. We get you out of here alive, and you help us kill Rendain.
I don't need your help. I might need your help.
I don't know, it helps to bring in a broader universe or something like that. There's also a very nice intro into the game explaining about everything that happened. Basically, this is the last solar system in the entire universe. It's the sole solar system. And now everybody's coming to this one beacon of hope, and they're fighting over it, trying to gather resources and just, be able to survive in this one place. And the whole story takes place over 3 separate planets. There's Bliss, there's the Eldred homeworld, and then there's the last one where you fight Rendain at. So there are a total of 25 separate heroes for you to play as. These heroes are known as the Battleborn, which hence the name, and not one, and I've played a lot of them, not one plays exactly the same. So you are going to want to find the one early on that you really enjoy playing, and you're going to want to stick with that one. I've sort of developed a system of like certain characters I would play in story mode and certain ones I would play in multiplayer, like Whiskey Foxtrot and Montana I would play in multiplayer, and then other ones like Marquis I would play in single player. But as I said, they all have 3 separate abilities and they all play completely differently. And it's really fun to, just go in and test different Battleborn to see which ones that you like most of all. Another thing I really enjoy is what is known as the Helix system. Now this isn't your leveling system per se. At the beginning of each and every mission, the whole thing will restart over. There is a total of 10 separate abilities branching off, and more later as you level up your Battleborn, that you can get during a mission. As you kill certain enemies and complete other objectives, your thing to the next level will increase, and you can get different abilities from each level. It's a really nice system, and I like how you can go in, you can play with it, and if you don't like the way a certain one is, then you'll know not to use it, and then you can go back and use the separate ability later. Another thing I really enjoy in Battleborn is the loadout system. Now each pack holds a total of 3 slots, and there are multiple of them with more to be gained later. And in these 3 slots you can put in things that you found over the course of your playthrough or opening packs, and you do not need to spend any money for any of this. None. No money. Which is nice. And you can use these items in-game with gems you find while playing the mission, which acts sort of like a currency system, but it doesn't go outside the actual, playing the game. Not in like the modes or anything like that. These can be really useful. They offer your character specific abilities and upgrades during your playthrough, and once you use one once during a playthrough, it stays on for that entire mission or match. So it's really useful. So you can end up using 3 separate things that will help your character. So be sure to figure out which things you want to use, maybe for a specific Battleborn. If you know that you're only using like 1 or 2 of a certain type, you would never have to put in more ever again, unless you find something else you enjoy. Along with having cool separate abilities from each separate Battleborn, they also have their own lore, which is 5 separate stories that can be unlocked by completing certain challenges and the like. And these really help to, give them a broader range to help you feel more connected to this character that you're probably going to be playing with a lot. I just thought it was a really nice system. Even though it's something small, like, the story missions and the awesome graphics, I think it's something to be commended for, because, I don't know, just a lot of developers don't put this much thought into their characters. 25 separate characters, all completely different with their own lore. I like that. One last thing I would like to add is that the story has a lot of replayability. As you go back into separate story missions, I know this one in particular is pretty small, but you can find different conversations going on with like Cleese and Galt and whatever with some of the major characters. And also you can find different packs and armor and upgrades that you can use in your loadouts. So there's always a good reason to go back in, especially with some friends, to play through the story again, because it is pretty hilarious. And also the matchmaking is pretty fun. Even though there are only 3 separate matches, I find that to be a little bit odd. They are very well done, and they can offer hours upon hours of gameplay to be had. The story itself, as I said, is 4 to 6 hours, so you're getting you're getting a lot for your $60 here. Let's just leave it at that. And now for the cons. So one of the things that has really annoyed me a lot, and this has persisted all the way, it's been more than a week since this game has been out, and I'm still suffering graphical issues, glitches, and most of all lag. Mainly due to the fact that this game is always online, which isn't a problem in of itself, but it can lead to those things I just stated, and it can be really annoying. I've been playing things on story mode and matchmaking, and I see characters get disconnected all the time. I really want this to be fixed soon, because I look forward to playing this game again. And even though I said the story was pretty good, there is one thing. The main villain, Rendane, he seems underdeveloped. He only comes in every once in a while, and just the ineptitude of this guy. I do not see how he became the leader of this army. He even says himself that he doesn't care about pride or whatever.
Very good. Very good indeed. Alas, I'm quite desperate to succeed, and pride is not my weakness.
Which makes his final boss battle pretty pathetic. He sends in 3 bosses to fight for him, and him as a boss, even though everything else is pretty difficult, him as a boss is way underwhelming. You fight him with like 5 guys, and he's going to be dead almost just then. You completely take out his shield, he sends in the 3 main bosses, and he comes out again. The only reason, as I said, it is hardened anyway is because of those bosses, and he sends out wave after wave of enemies to help fight with him. It is annoying, and I would have expected more from the final enemy. Anybody care to tell me what is up with online games in Horde mode? Horde mode, Horde mode, Horde mode, Horde mode. Entire missions that are about 30 minutes long plus consist almost entirely of Horde mode. Am I missing something? Is this something that is supposed to be in multiplayer games? Horde mode itself isn't bad, but when used as much as it is in this game, which is a lot, it can become extremely annoying.
Loads of Varelsi coming your way. Keep them off the sentry.
And another thing that they do over and over again is in the boss battles. The boss will leave, regain health, or become, invincible, while he sends in more enemies that you have to defeat. And it's really annoying. I mean, they put this much effort into creating good characters. I would have wished that there was a bit more diversity in what was actually happening in the story, not just fighting waves and waves and waves of enemies. Now, I know this is all consistent with most MOBAs, and that's the fact that you have to unlock most of the characters. But considering the fact that Overwatch is going to be coming out later this same month, Battleborn's biggest competitor right now, and it's going to have all of its heroes open to you, I would have considered there to be, just like the same thing from Battleborn. You're paying $60 up front, and I would have liked, also considering the fact that, you want to play that one specific Battleborn. So if you unlock a new one later, it feels weird because then you have to go out and test this guy. I don't know. Maybe it's just more of a personal gripe, but I would have preferred just all the characters unlocked, just right from the get-go. So you knew which one you wanted to play, or which ones, and then you could stick with them. Now, as you might expect, considering that there are 25 different characters, some did kind of get left off to the side. I'm thinking mainly of Benedict. He is weak, and it takes forever to reload. I know that those are main gripes. You might say, well, you can get better at him. Well, yeah, that can be said with anything, but a lot of these guys seem to be, easier to get into, while others are just bad. I don't know how to say it. And some of the Battleborn are as OP as heck, and I am looking at Galilea specifically. You would hope that, at least in what they can do, they're all going to be good matchups, but there are obviously more that are stronger and tougher, do more damage than other Battleborn, which can make, going up against them, especially in multiplayer, a real pain. Pretty small thing, but it still kind of annoys me. The golems that you face on Bliss, which is the same planet you go to, which is the first planet you go to, are the exact same make and model of the sentinels you fight on the Eldred homeworld. Now that, I found a bit lazy.
majestic, so lethal.
Lastly, there are the factions. Now there's a total of 5 factions with, of course, 5 separate Battleborn within each one. I would have liked to see Gearbox implement them more into the story. Like, for example, a separate multiplayer type where it's just 5 on 5, 2 separate factions fighting against each other, but they're just not used as much as I would have thought. I mean, they're not even categorized in their factions when you go to look at them in command, so I'm wondering why they even use them. There are certain challenges and things like that that work with the faction system, but it's not as in-depth as I would have thought. I would have liked to seen some lore on these factions, but there really isn't a lot, and it seems like a missed opportunity. Sure, you could do it in DLC, but this is everything happening right now, on release. They should have done something more with it, is the gist of it. One quick tip before the final rating. I highly suggest you play with, other people, especially in the last battle, because at times this game can get pretty overwhelming and you only have a total amount of lives before you have to go back and play the whole thing again. So, heed my words, especially on the last mission, play with other people. Given the fact that this is sort of an FPS MOBA, it is open to a broad range of people to play, and I really enjoyed it, and I think that for the entire $60, I got plenty for what I paid for. I highly suggest that if you're a fan of either of these two things, that you go out and play it. And if you want to try a MOBA, this is a great way to get into one. Alright, so the final rating for Battleborn is a solid 8 out of 10. It is a great game, and I highly suggest you play it if you're a fan of either of these two or if you want to get into them. All in all, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Please like and subscribe because it really helps us out.